close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver. For no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller.
YouTube Music. Stáhněte si aplikaci ještě dnes a získejte zkušební verzi Music Premium zdarma. Na nabídku se vztahují omezení.
Zero continuation.
tell me 'cause it hurts. Turn the lights out. I'm glad you came. The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came.
Když posloucháte hudbu celý den, chcete ji poslouchat offline a na pozadí. A samozřejmě bez reklam. Žádné obavy, to vše vám nabízí nová aplikace pro streamování hudby od YouTube. Stáhněte si YouTube Music ještě dnes a získejte zkušební verzi Music Premium zdarma. Na nabídku se vztahují omezení.
Do you need time to prepare? I can sing any song anytime. Just press play and get back.
I threw a wish in a well. Don't ask me, I'll never tell. I looked to you as it fell, and now you're in my way. I trade my soul for a wish, pennies and dimes for a kiss. I wasn't looking for this, but now you're in my way. Your stare was holding, ripped jeans, skin was showing. Hot night, wind was blowing. Where you think you're going, baby? Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. But here's my number, so call me. Just keep breathing, baby, we're lonely. Baby, it's freedom. Just keep breathing, baby, we're lonely. Maybe we can break away if you really want to. Hard to keep the face when you're staring at the sun. Let's hide away from it, try to escape from it. Let's hide away if you really want to run.
Berlin to Tokyo to LA and to places I don't know. And every time you're leaving home, I hate it, but I know it's not for long. When you travel down the coast, when you look across the shore, when you hear the ocean roar, I'm waiting for your call. When you make it to the island, sand beneath your feet, when I look at the horizon, well, you think of me. You are a traveler. My bed feels cold. Oh, when you're gone, you are a traveler. You know that I love you when I let you go. You're taking off to Mexico, to Paris, and I know you long for more. I'm waiting for you all along. I wanna see the pictures on your phone. The sun goes down, the sun comes up. I wake up slow, I wonder where you've gone. You left the ground a while ago. I'm losing every sense of time. You are a traveler. My bed feels cold. Oh, when you're gone, you are a traveler. You know that I love you when I let you go. I wanna feel the warmth of your skin. All I want is you here with me. Don't wanna fall asleep on my own. My bed feels cold. Oh, when you're gone, you are a traveler.